This is Plant-Based Briefing. Fuel your fire. Peloton head instructor Robinarzon on food, fitness, and staying motivated by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. I'm Marian Erickson. This is the Plant-Based Podcast where I curate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living, get permission, and narrate them to you here in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Forks Over Knives to share their amazing content. So now let's get to today's Plant-Based Briefing. Fuel your fire. Peloton head instructor Robinarzon on food, fitness, and staying motivated by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. Robinarzon is on a mission to redefine strength from the inside out. As the head instructor at Peloton, a New York Times bestselling author, and a lawyer-turned-ultramarathoner, she's helped millions embrace movement and mental resilience. A longtime advocate of plant-based living, Arzón brings the same energy she's known for on the bike into the kitchen, where she focuses on fueling her body with intention and joy. We spoke with Arzón about what inspired her to ditch animal products, how she fuels her high-performance lifestyle, and the transformative power of adopting a growth mindset. Plus, she shares her favorite pantry staples, what she eats when she's too tired to cook, and tips for reigniting your inner fire after a setback. What inspired you to go plant-based? Robinarzon. I was working as a corporate litigator and also training for marathons. I started reading about Rich Roll and Scott Jurek, these amazing endurance athletes who were plant-based. Then I had one fateful salad at a New York City bodega with chicken that looked disgusting, and that was it. I couldn't do that anymore. So I went plant-based one meal at a time. It mainly started with lunches, and then I started changing out ingredients in my home. What are your go-to foods? I think I have beans every single day of my life. Pureed black beans were my very first food as a kid after breast milk. I love, love, love beans. And nutritional yeast and any kind of scramble. I still have processed foods sometimes. There'll be times when I'm so tired that I just have pre-made veggie burgers at home. Around 80 to 90% of the time I'm pretty clean, but I'm not pristine. I think it's about finding the routines and the foods that you're going to eat most of the time. There are all-the-time foods and sometimes foods. You're all about a growth mindset. How does that apply to eating habits? We're not stuck. We're not static. Think about our bodies and our microbiomes. They're changing literally every day. I find that incredibly empowering to know that even if we're going through a season of life when maybe we're not our most optimal selves, you can always make one next best decision. That is a growth mindset that applies to anything, but especially as it relates to food and fuel. What would be your advice to those who feel like they're allergic to exercise, as you once did? I think it's natural for us to become paralyzed by the idea that it needs to be an overhaul. But what if you just start with one step, 1 mile, one workout, one time that you put the shoes on and you do something with it? And you don't have to hate exercise. If all your friends are training for a marathon and you can't fathom running, then go to a dance class. Hop on the Peloton bike with me. There's lots of options, especially in this digitally connected age. Where do you find inspiration for your recipes? Usually it's my own cravings. I like the idea of also revamping nostalgic recipes. The other day I remade the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap Supreme, but I made it vegan. I'll be honest, I don't pore over recipes. I look at the ingredients, make a rough sketch, and then I kind of just freestyle from there. I find that makes cooking so much more freeing and fun, which I guess is why I don't have a bake shop, because that requires precision. You're working on a plant-based cookbook. What can you tell us about it? I want readers to feel like they're in my kitchen with me. I'm not a professional chef. I wasn't always plant-based. I totally understand the nervousness or the hesitation to bring new things into your kitchen, especially when you've been cooking the same way in some cases for 20, 30, 50 years. So there's an element of play, but there's also an element of confidence that I want people to have. I want people to feel empowered just like they do with my workouts. Getting back up. We all fall down at some point in life. Self-love is the key to bouncing back stronger, Arzón says. I found these tools helpful to reignite inspiration after a setback. Mantra alarms. Change the title of your cell phone alarm to a motivating mantra like, do epic shit, Arzón says. Whatever resonates with you, give yourself an extra push the minute you wake up. Inspirational notes to self. Place a note on your mirror, night table, or desk with words and imagery that speak to you, suggests Arzón. It might seem cheesy at first, but trust me, it works. The mind responds to visual cues. And vision boards. Create a vision board and look at it every single day, Arzón says. Remind yourself of the life you're working toward and what it takes to get there. You just listened to Fuel Your Fire, Peloton head instructor Robinarzon on food, fitness, and staying motivated by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. I've done a number of other episodes on fueling your body for fitness, and wherever you listen or go to plantbasebriefing.com episodes, you can type athlete or fitness or recovery in the search field, and those will come up. And I'm so excited to have found this article. I skim through articles before I narrate them just to make sure that they're appropriate and I want to share them. And this one I didn't read to the very end. And as I read it to record, the very last section on vision boards really speaks to me because I've been wanting to do this for years. Probably 10 or 15 years ago, I created one with magazine cutouts on poster board. But I wanted to create something online that I can have readily accessible, always showing up on my laptop. I can have it on my phone, etc. And I've piddled around a little bit, looked at different ways to do it, and haven't found anything great. And then I just Googled it now after reading this article, and I use Canva for work, and I Googled it, and I can easily create one in Canva. They've even got templates to start with. So, I don't know why it didn't occur to me to look into that before, but now I'm going to go create my vision board. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.